Hey everybody, I want you to listen up in this video, especially if you're a type of person that always says, and you always catch yourself saying, I don't have time. I don't have time for personal development. I don't have time for success development. I don't have time to learn about manifesting and learn the proper way to do it. I just don't have time. I mean, my career takes so much time over me. I have a family, I have kids. I just don't have time. And I get it. I really do. But we all have time. And in this video, I'm talking really fast because I know you don't have time. So I'm trying to cover this material very, very quickly. I'm going to give you some homework here, some things that you can go inside your routine that will help you out. What I've learned way back in the past when we think that we don't have time, because all of us have time. And one of the things that I really learned, and this is way back almost in the beginning of my career, I worked with Ed Milet. I worked with his company. I was mentored a little bit by Ed Milet. And back in the day, they would always teach this. I mean, when I worked for his company, that wasn't really his company, but when I worked for the company that he worked for, that's one of the best companies I worked for as far as personal development, success development, really developing you as a person. And one of the things they taught me was to, when you're in your car and you're commuting, maybe you have an hour commute to work, an hour home, maybe you have 30 minutes to work and 30 minutes home. So minimum, you're in the car an hour a day. Set your car up as a personal development library. Even back in the day when I was doing this, I was doing this when there wasn't Bluetooth in the car. So I would have all these CDs, personal development CDs. I had a cassette player in the car too, and a CD player. So I would listen to CDs on personal development, on leadership, sales, management, manifesting, positive thinking, how to grow a company, across the line. But anytime I was in a car, I always had a CD playing in that realm. In that area. No matter what, no matter if I had a long distance, no matter if I was just going shopping, my car was a personal development library. And that's one of the things that I did, and I even do today, or I even feel weird. I got to a point where when I was in the car, even if a friend was in the car, I just sat there and listened to no music. And they were like, turned to me like, Chad, like, why don't you listen to music? Because I was so used to listening to my personal development tapes, my personal development CDs and stuff like that. And this was kind of right before Bluetooth kind of overtook or at least the Bluetooth in cars got super popular, where Bluetooth, you could tether your phone to the car like you can nowadays. But that's one thing you can do, especially if you commute. If you commute, you have time. You just have to set it up for success for you, okay? Because you have that time just sitting in the car, okay? And one of the things too is, even in manifesting, when you're just sitting in a car, most of the time our mind goes off. We're thinking about, we don't want to drive to work. We don't want to go to work today. We don't want to put up with Becky. We don't like our boss. So our mind drifts the whole time we're driving. And that's what eventually starts kind of attracting to us, because that ends up being our dominant thoughts for the day. So when you're listening to something, personal development wise, positive wise, it really changes your state. And I'm not saying, put a little disclaimer here, I'm not saying you can't listen to music. You can't, I listen to music, okay, but control it. Even with music, listen to music that uplifts you, okay, that makes you feel good. No matter what type of music it is. If it makes you feel good and uplifts you, then listen to it. Stop listening to music that kind of puts you down, makes you sad, makes you think back in the past, that puts you in a sad state, a negative state. Stop listening to that music and listen to music that really uplifts you, makes you feel powerful. Same almost like you went to a gym and you're listening to music that makes you feel like you want to go work out. You don't want to listen to music that puts you to sleep. You know what I mean? So, but control it. You don't need to listen to music all day long. You know what I mean? Set aside time for your personal development. And one easy way is inside your car. Now, another thing that I do is, most of the time I do a walk. Like right now I'm in Ohio, so I walk in the morning. Sometimes I walk in the evening, so I walk twice a day. But mainly I at least walk once a day. The walk is about 45 minutes to an hour, depending upon how far I go down and come back. It's about a 2-mile round trip. So it's about 45 minutes. So when I walk, I tend to put an earbud in and listen to something personal development. Listen to something. Maybe I'll listen to Neville Goddard. Maybe I'll listen to one of his live speeches. Maybe I'll listen to personal development. Maybe I'll listen to leadership and sales. But I'm listening to something that keeps my mind occupied. And this is what's really important. Because lots of times when we walk, lots of times I can stay focused on, maybe I do a gratitude walk and I really try to work on my attention. I really try to work on my focus where I'm thinking the same thing the entire time I'm walking. And basically what I'm trying to do is control my mind where it's not drifting off. I'm not drifting off into the negative. I'm not drifting off into, I don't like this, I don't like that. And usually that's what we do. Okay, we drift off. We're not in control of our mind. We're not in control of our thinking. So our mind drifts off. So, and sometimes I do this good, and sometimes I'm not, because I'm human. Sometimes I'll get in a habit and I'll start being aware of, well, when I walk today, the entire time, all I thought about is what I don't like. My mind's just bounced around from one thing to the next on what I don't like. So then at that point, I start putting earbuds in and I start controlling my attention that way, listening to personal development, listening to success, listening to positive thinking, listening to Neville Goddard, Joseph Murphy, listening to an audio book on it. So that way it keeps my mind focused as I'm walking. So it's the same thing. If you exercise or you walk like me, even if you walk or you exercise, you go to the gym, put an earbud in and listen. That's your opportunity. If you do a 45-minute workout or a half-hour workout or even an hour workout, that's your opportunity to put your earbuds in and listen to personal development. Okay, and personal development can be a wide range of things. It could be sales, it could be leadership, management style. It could be how to grow a company, how to grow your brand. Okay, it could be manifesting. This is what we're talking about here: manifesting and success, a law of attraction, how to have a better life. It could be all of that, but you have time. Okay, you just have to be a little bit flexible, and you have to think outside the box a little bit. Okay, that's the same thing I do. When I walk and I go to the gym, now I have a gym outside here that I go to, that's outside in the garage, I build up like a gym. So I go out there, I do the same thing. Now listen to personal development. Okay, now if I find myself listening to music, in a habit of listening to music, what I'll do is I always listen to upbeat music. For one, I'm working out, so that's obvious. I'm not going to listen to something that puts me to sleep, that unmotivates me, especially when I'm working out. But another thing I do with music, if I start noticing that I'm listening to music too much, where I'm not listening to personal development, I'm not listening to success, I will start to listen to success. And usually on YouTube, because it's so easy to look up, or it's on my phone, it's in my save, it's on my iTunes and stuff like that. I got stuff saved on there, so it's kind of bouncing back and forth. I'll listen to audiobooks just because I want to control my thoughts. I want to control my intention more and more, because lots of times, we will drift backwards a little bit once we get out of the habit of doing stuff. And I'm human just like you. I'll get in a really good habit of doing something and I get relaxed with it and I start kind of pedaling backwards a little bit. Then I catch myself, then I fix it and move forward. Now, the last thing I want to bring up, the last thing I really want to talk about is our phones. Now, in this day of age, everybody's addicted to their phone. Everybody's looking at their phone. Everybody's looking at TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. They're looking at shorts. You get addicted. I get addicted to shorts. That's something right now I'm really working on myself, is not getting it. No matter if you go to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, they all have shorts, and not get addicted to sitting there just swiping through and just looking at stuff. One thing what happens is, for me anyway, to be transparent with this, is lots of times, things start to bother me. I start looking at things that bother me that I don't like, and it kind of puts me in a negative state. If that starts happening, then you need to stop, okay? Because once it puts you in a negative state, you're gonna stay in that state for a little while throughout the day until you really catch it and kind of switch your state. Really, another thing, what I really want to bring up here is most of us are on our phone for hours a day. Okay, even if we're sitting down watching TV, at the same time we're on our phone, we're on TikTok watching shorts. At the same time we're watching a movie. We're on our phones just hours and hours a day, and that's a time sucker right there. So if you say you don't have time, but yet you spend 5 hours on your phone every single day just with meaningless stuff, then you could cut out most of that time and shift it over to personal development, shift it over to success, shift it over to, how you can achieve the life of your dreams. That's what you need to be focused on, not TikTok, not Instagram, not YouTube Shorts, not just like meaningless stuff. Now, there's great stuff on YouTube, so I don't want to say anything bad about YouTube. You know what I mean? Because there's great stuff, personal development. You can learn a lot on YouTube. But I'm really particularly talking about shorts, and you know what I'm talking about as well. You're just sitting there flipping through, and it's easy to get caught up into. Trust me. I can just sit there in a chair. I'm gonna sit here in a chair and start flipping through. Next thing I know, I look and see what time it is. An hour went by, and all I did for that hour was look at shorts. Then sometimes when I get up after that hour, I'm in a negative state because I'm constantly watching stuff that have a negative connotation, that makes your blood boil a little bit, that you don't like or you don't agree with. So you kind of walk away from it not even feeling good. So those are the things too, really watch your phone consumption. And that's kind of what I'm working on right now, is because right now I'm really working on, to wrap this up, I'm really working on, being in present moment. No matter what I do in the day, is really be in present moment. If I'm watching a movie, if I'm in the mood to watch a movie, I go down and I'll watch a movie. I don't play with my phone. My phone is not sitting beside me. I put my phone someplace else, and I really just focus on watching a movie, just like a kid. We really need to live in present moment. If you go out on a date, if you go out with your significant other, I don't play with my phone. I mean, I might bring my phone with me. I might take it out of my pocket, sit on the table, but I never pick it up and play with it. And that's one of the things, even when I talk about that, that's one of the things, when I live in Thailand, by the way, but my girlfriend in Thailand, that's one of the things that she noticed about me. Like when we would go out to eat, go out to drink, have fun, like I never played on my phone. And she brought that up to me. She was like, no, I like that about you, because every time we go out, you're very in tune to what we're doing. You're talking to me, conversing with me. You're not playing on your phone. You're not looking at your phone constantly. And she picked that up about me. I didn't start the conversation like that. I didn't talk about it to her, but it's just something that she observed with me, is that I didn't play on my phone. And that's something I really try to work on. It's really be in present moment, really live in a present moment. And one of the ways is put that phone away. And that's what I focus on during the day. No matter what I'm working on, no matter if I'm working on the video over here on my iMac, I'm very in tune to it. I have my phone not by me. That way I'm not tempted to constantly look at it and scroll through stuff, stuff like that. I'm just very in tune to what I'm doing. And when you're very in tune to what you're doing, that's really mind control, because you're very focused on what you're doing. Your mind's not drifting off into the negative. So I'm controlling my thoughts, controlling my mind. Plus I'm staying present moment. Our power is in present moment. When you look at law of attraction, manifesting, your power is being in present moment. That's our power. Okay. Stop looking at the past too much. Stop looking at the future too much. It's present moment. It's being present. Okay. That's the power that we have in present moment. And that's something I'm working on right now. That's when I brought up the phone, that kind of, it reminded me kind of what I'm working on. So I shared that with you guys. But anyway, blessings to you. And remember, we all have time, and we're all busy. All of us are busy. All of us have careers, what we're working on, and we find time what's important to us. But just start being aware of where your time is spent. Okay. And that's really the first step. It's just awareness. Start being aware of where your time's spent, where you can put in personal development. And lots of times we can put it in where we're working out, we're going to the gym, we're taking a walk. I drive an hour to work and an hour home, so that's 2 hours. So I can easily listen to personal development an hour there. Then maybe on an hour home, I listen to music. So you can still fit it in, but just be flexible with it. Think outside the box. Be aware of where you can put it in, because you can always find a place to put it in. Trust me. But other than that, my friends, hopefully this helped. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts, if it's working for you, or if you have questions. And I always answer the questions. I'll always answer the comments. Other than that, love you guys. See you in the next video.